Hi you guys, welcome back. I am so excited that we are already in week 2, and today I have so much goodness to talk about, things that will literally change the way you think, change your perspective, change how you see the world. Like, this is body changing, life changing, future changing information. So I'm super stoked. We're talking about duality today because there is this thing that happens between us saying we want something and what our subconscious believes is possible for us. There's two different things happening if we're not getting the thing that we want. So if you're sitting there saying, I want this fierce looking body, I want my body to look hot, I want my body to look fit, I want my body to look amazing, I want my body to be thinner, I want it to be fit, more muscular, whatever it is. If we're sitting here saying that we want that and we've been saying it for a while and we don't have it, that means that there's duality happening. There is something subconscious below the surface that's saying, I do not want that. It is not right. It is not good. It is not safe. It is not healthy. It is not what a good girl would do. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, below the surface, that you probably don't even realize is going on. So first off, welcome to this beautiful grassy area that I'm doing my video from today. Normally I do pools, but today I was deciding that it feels like a good day to get the green. Like, it just feels green and alive and earthy. So you might hear sounds in the background, you might see people in the background. It's life. So enjoy the video. The information in it is very potent and very powerful, and that's what I'm here to provide for you. So we can have friends and everybody join us, and we're just gonna have a great time together. This information is for everybody. So, okay, let's talk about duality. As I said before, if you are feeling a desire for something and you are having a hard time getting it, it's because there's something else happening behind the scenes that is saying, no, you cannot have it because it is a bad thing to actually have it, which might sound crazy to you. You might be like, I don't think there's a bad thing to having the body that I want or the weight that I want or the health that I want. But trust me, if you're saying you want it and you haven't been able to get it, there is guaranteed something going on down there that is saying you can't. And sometimes it just takes us giving ourselves permission and saying, I'm deciding that I get to have that, even though, you know, I might not be eating how I think I need to eat, or working out how I think I need to work out, or doing the things I think I need to do. I'm still going to decide that I get to have it. I'm still deciding. It really does all come down to the decision that you make to say, I just decide that I get to have it. But sometimes when we're trying to just decide, what helps us get there faster is if we dive into some of the reasons why our subconscious is saying that we're not supposed to have it. Because trust and know that you're meant to have the body you want. If you desire it, you're meant to have it. Your body, just like everyone else's, is connected with the wisdom of nature. You know, nature is incredibly smart and knows what to do. The fact that your body knows how to make a baby, every day of my pregnancy, I would literally be like, yeah, I'm making some healthier food choices. Yeah, I'm moving my body, whatever. Without trying, I am making a baby. Like, my body is making a baby. Like, it's making eyes and like hair and like a nose and lungs and all these. I'm not even trying. So when you have that thought of like how incredibly amazing that is that we're not even trying to do that, or like the fact that our lungs are breathing without us thinking about it, or our heart is beating without us being like, hey, heart beat, or hey, lungs breathe. We're not doing that. It just happens. That is the same kind of wisdom of nature that just makes things work. And when you move past, there's been so much culturally and in our society about how things should be, shouldn't be, right, wrong, all of these things related to our body, our weight, food, and workouts, that it's taken us away from that like ability to just tap into our body's natural wisdom from nature. Because trust and know that your body knows how to lose weight. Your body knows how to be in your healthiest body. It knows what to do and how to do it. But sometimes we got to get out of our own way. And that is conditioning. That is programming. That's not like a part of you. That's just like something you've accumulated along the way. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna find out what things are there and what things need to go and get out of the way. So number one, I'm gonna say it in that voice, number one. Number one, duality. Recognize and acknowledge that, okay, there's some stuff below the surface that's kept me from having the body I want, that's kept my body from doing what it knows how to naturally do, just maintain health, maintain a healthy weight, and be, the healthiest and most vibrant that it can possibly be. Cool, I see it there. I'm choosing not to judge it. Make sure you choose not to judge that it's there. It's okay. Everybody has this to some degree. Some people have worked through it, some people moved past it naturally, and there are a few people who were gifted with really beautiful mindsets about their body, and it's always been easy for them. And it gets to be easy for you too, but it's just a matter of moving past what's false and remembering the truth. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go through a list of a bunch of things that over the course of my many years of coaching women on their bodies and coaching thousands of women now who are across the globe, all ages, everything. These are some of the main things I've found. So I want you to listen to the things I say, pick out the ones that resonate with you. You're gonna journal on this, so make sure you write them out in your journal. When you hear something that you're like, ooh, I kind of believe that, or I really believe that, write it down, because that's what we're gonna move through. So I'm gonna go through the list, and then I'm gonna go through the truth of a lot of it. Because we have to actually seek the truth versus telling ourselves a lie. And if it's not from love, it is a lie. So we will go through the things. Okay, so number one, the first thing that I have written down here is it's shameful to show your body. So having shame in actually having your body look a certain way. So if you had the body you wanted, do you feel like it would be shameful? Do you feel like you should have shame to have a certain body? Or do you feel like if you were around certain people, this will probably go into another one, but if you're around certain people, you would feel like uncomfortable about having such a great body? Do you feel like you would make other people feel less than you, or not try and make them feel less than you, but do you feel like your body would make you stand out in a way that other people might feel less around you? So if there's any level of like, I'm gonna make other people uncomfortable, or it's shameful for me to look like this, and if you are a good person, which I know that all of you are, you care about loving people. So you're always gonna do the most loving thing. Remember this, we will always do what we think is the most loving thing. The issue here is that most of us who are struggling in a certain area, especially with our bodies, hold a belief that the most loving thing is not actually the most loving thing, but we think it is, so we do it. So it's all about changing what the most loving thing is. So if you have any feelings of it being shameful, another one is it's vain to love your body. So do you feel like it would be vain if you had the body you wanted, or if you looked a certain way, or you dressed a certain way, or your body was a certain shape, if you were a certain weight? Do you feel like it would be vain for you to have that, or do you feel like it's vain when other people have that? Because if you have any level of that, like the vain feeling, the shame that goes along with it, I'll show you some things we're gonna work through. So if you feel like, if this is the situation for you, like say you have your dream body right now, and it's amazing, and it's fierce, and it's hot, and looks so great, and you just love it. And then you go out in public, or you go out around either strangers or people you know, friends, family, and you were celebrating your body by wearing beautiful clothes and showing it in certain ways. Like, whatever ways feel good to you. You can show it off fully if you want to show it off fully, or you can just, show hints of it. But if you were celebrating your body and it looked the way you say you want it to look, would you feel like people might think you're vain? Do you feel like you should feel shame from that? Do you feel like other people will feel uncomfortable around you? This was a big one for me. Especially if you had been, what's the word? Like, not bullied, maybe bullied, but if you've had the experience of having people make you uncomfortable when you were younger, like I definitely didn't fit in school, and had a lot of people who would say mean things, and I let myself feel really negative and really hurt. I hated how uncomfortable I felt around certain people. And I think at a young age, without realizing I was doing it, I decided that I would never make other people feel uncomfortable in that same way. So my goal was always to make sure people were feeling very comfortable around me. And if that meant that I had to not have a body that would make them uncomfortable, then I would do that, which is what I did. I kept a lot of extra weight on my body. I kept myself like never quite being at that peak level that I could go to, because I was afraid that looking a certain way would make people uncomfortable. I'd had experiences with other girls where either they saw a woman who had a really like fit, sexy body and they were talking bad about them, or by myself having a fit, sexy body at certain points of my life, I saw other women get uncomfortable. And I didn't like the feeling of other people being uncomfortable because of me. I wanted them to feel comfortable. I wanted them to feel loved. And I was making a misassociation here. I thought I was doing the most loving thing by keeping myself a weight that would make people comfortable around me, and having a body that made people feel comfortable around me, sometimes choosing outfits that I didn't even really like, but they made me feel more comfortable to other people in my mind, so I'd wear them, which is no way to live. Like, sacrificing who you truly are and sacrificing your best self in order to make other people uncomfortable, that right there is like an alarm red flag to say, hey, wait, this is a misassociation that's going down. So we want to find the truth, and the honest truth of it is you might make some people uncomfortable. However, you inspire people by having your highest and best body. I know you might be surrounded with people and you might think, yeah, right, they're gonna be mean about it, they're gonna make jokes, they're gonna be sarcastic, they're gonna say certain things. The truth of the matter is, like, anytime somebody is sarcastic or making jokes or anything, they are deeply desiring the same result. However, they're like putting it on you, almost to make you feel bad because they're not going after it for themselves, but deeply they want it as well. So the highest and best thing, the most of service thing you could do, and the most loving thing you could do for other people is live in your healthiest and best, sexiest, most fierce, whatever the desire is you have for your body, live in that body. And let that lead people, let that guide people, because when you have that, you give other people permission to have it too. So, all the women that you feel are uncomfortable around you, if you are staying in that unhealthy body, you're giving them permission to stay in their unhealthy body as well. When you step into your healthiest and best body, you give them permission to do it too. They might not immediately be like, oh, I want to do it too, right? It might be a roundabout way, it might take some time, whatever, but know for sure that by you having it and you standing in your power of saying, like, I'm going to celebrate this body, I'm proud of this body, I love this body, I'm going to own this body, and it's my highest and best, they are eventually going to come around and say, can you help me too? And that's the thing about this, is sometimes in our minds we think that it's like, if I have it, then no one else can have it, or it's just me and they're going to feel like they can't have it too, so it's sort of like unfair, like I have this thing they can't have now. And this is all, of course, subconscious thoughts, but the truth of the matter is, when you start realizing that by having it, you get to show them that they can have it too, then that gets exciting. Then it feels better. Then you want to have that body because you get to bring everybody along with you. I know I feared that, you know, if I became my best self, might be less relatable for people, and then people wouldn't, you know, want to be around me, or wouldn't like me, or wouldn't resonate with me. And I was like, I want to connect with all the women. I want to be able to, you know, inspire people and learn from people and all this stuff. And I feel like I'd be losing connection by doing that. And I had to go back and be like, no, Steph, actually, when you have it, you get to bring them all with you. Like, they all get to come too. And then I was like, that feels freaking great. Like, that feels better to me. So that's the direction I went with it. So it's all about, when you have it, you can bring them up too. You don't have to do it just like, hey, it's just me up here. Like, it's great at the top, but sorry. It's like, hey, come on up. We can all do this. Especially when you're doing the kind of work that I'm teaching you here, which is like, it's not about genetics. It's not about predisposition for these things. It's not about family history. It's not about whatever. It's about your beliefs. It's about the beliefs that you hold about your body, about your weight, about food, and about fitness that determine how your body looks and how it moves and how it feels and the curves and everything and the shape. It's determined by your thoughts. And most people are like, oh, I'm just not motivated. Oh, I'm not consistent. But it doesn't come down to that. It's far deeper than that. It's about emotions. It's about beliefs. So anybody can change their beliefs. And that's the exciting part, where you know you can bring them with you, because if you can change your beliefs, they can change their beliefs. And that's what empowered me a lot too, because I was like, okay, if I can do this, anybody can do it. Like, I had so many negative beliefs. Like, I didn't think I could even lose weight. I had that moment that I talk about often on social media where I was just like, maybe I'm just supposed to be overweight the rest of my life, because I was so frustrated nothing was working. Like, I had some pretty like deep negative body beliefs and everything. So just know that because I did it, you can freaking do it too. And we get to take everybody with us. So if you have any feeling of like it's uncomfortable, so cute. If you have any feelings of it being uncomfortable for you to have the body that you want, then know that it's going to be uplifting, inspiring. You're going to show them what's possible. How else are you supposed to show people what's possible for them other than you leading by example? You know the quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. So if you want everybody to feel empowered and uplifted about their bodies and live in a body that feels the best to them, the body that they always have wanted, you do it first, you know? We have to do it first. We're not doing anybody any favors by keeping ourselves in a body that's not exactly where we want it to be. So that's number one. That's if you have any feelings of it's uncomfortable. Those are some miscorrelations that we associate with that. If you feel like it's shameful or vain to have the body that you want. Okay, I have this written down in some of my notes. I wanted to make sure I covered in this. We're gonna go through like an example of how to do this. So first you wanna go back to a memory. So pick a memory of when you heard somebody saying that it's shameful to have the body type that you want. So let's use this example. Say you want a really curvy body right now. Right now, curvy bodies are in. Sometimes skinny bodies are in. Sometimes like big butts are in. Sometimes big boobs are in. Like, it changes all the time. But right now, that like curvy booty vibe is super in. So say you want that curve. You want that curve, like a waist to hip curve. And I want you to think back to a memory when your mom or your sister or your girlfriends or some people you were around, even your dad or a man in your life, a male figure. Think back to a time when somebody said something really negative about women who have that body. What did they say? You know, were they like, oh, she is so vain. Like, look at her and the way she wears those tight pants. Look at her hips. Like, that is not cute. Like, I'm just trying to think of things that I've heard people say that their moms have said to them, or things that I've heard women say about their own bodies, or other women's bodies. You know, you might have heard somebody say, it's wrong to look like that. It's shameful. Another one from this list is, how did I write this down? It's slutty to look like that. So there's a lot of moms who positioned their daughters' bodies to look slutty if they're showing cleavage, if they're wearing tight-fitting clothes. Like sometimes in spirituality, like from a like certain religions, this is really shameful, put out in a shameful way to wear certain clothes or show your shape or show your curves. And trust and know that there's nothing shameful about your beautiful body. Like the way your body looks and the way your body was made, the way your body is beautiful. It is right. It is on purpose. It looks like that for a reason. And it is meant to be loved. But you might have had an experience with somebody who positioned your body looking how it naturally looks as being bad. They might have said it about your body. They might have said it about another woman's body. They might have said it about somebody on TV or in a magazine. Did you ever hear women like look at magazines and be like, ew, like look at her butt, or look at her hips, or look at her waist, or look at her breasts, or look at her whatever? Like, have you ever heard other women talk about women like this in their shape and their whatever? Especially if it was an influential woman in your life, or many influential women or men, then, or like maybe you've had a boyfriend or a husband who was like, oh, she is so wrong for wearing that, or she's so vain, like look at, who does she think she is, you know? If somebody positions it like that, that's intense. You're not going to want to be that and look like that, even if you actually really want to look like that and be like that. So you're going to be like, no, like the person I love isn't going to love me. They're going to think it's shameful, or it's vain, or it's wrong, or like it's bad. So I want you to think back to that memory. Then figure out what was really going on. We want to find the reality of the situation. What was really happening? So if you had a mom, let's use this example because I have heard this many, many, many times with working with a lot of different women. Say your mom made a comment, or made many comments about you and your body looking slutty. I want you to go back to a specific memory when you remember her saying that. And if you didn't have that experience, go through one of these other ones and do this exact same process. I'm just giving you an example with this. Go back to the memory, at least one specific memory where you remember her saying that. And I want you to actually find the reality. So what happens here is our brains create thought loops, and our brain has to close one thought loop before it moves to the next one. And if the thought loop we're in is one of trauma and stress and anxiety and fear, we are going to close that thought loop in order to move on with our lives, because otherwise it would just be a hot mess and can't move forward. So we have to fill it with something so we can keep doing life, even if it's a lie. That's the thing about this, is you can fill it with truth or you can fill it with a lie. Both seal it up and get you moving forward. And that can be a problem if you fill it with a lie, because then it holds you back from what you actually want in the future. So this is a big deal. If you're in this moment, your mom made this comment about how your body looks, and she was really negative about it, and she was really disgusted by it, then you want to figure out what was really going on. What's the miscorrelation I made? What's the thing I filled into the thought loop that wasn't actually true? Because it's never actually true unless it comes from love. Remember that. What did I fill it in with? What was the lie I told myself that has been impacting my body ever since, and how I look at it, and what I believe is possible, and if I allow myself to have the body I want? So go back to the memory, think about that time, and have that experience where you see what was actually going on. So in this scenario, in the example I gave you, the truth of the matter is, when somebody is having a projection, when they're saying something to someone else, they are really just speaking to themselves. So that's a thing right there. Anytime somebody is talking to you, they're really just talking to themselves. If they were giving themselves advice, they'd be telling themselves what they're saying to you. So don't take anybody else's advice, only take your own advice. They're just giving you everything they want to feed you, especially if it's negative stuff. Like, don't take on the BS. So when mom was saying that stuff, she was saying things to you but she really meant it for herself. And trust and know that if she's is at a point where she's saying that to you, or if any other woman is saying this to you, they have gotten to a place where that has been passed down to them. That happened to them. So her mom said it to her, and her mom said it to her, and her mom said it to her, and it just keeps getting passed down from generation to generation, which is why I'm so proud of all of you for doing this work, because you are literally stopping the pattern at you and not passing it on to future generations. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and for doing this, because that is huge. It is so important that we don't keep passing on these negative body beliefs and these mean, cruel, shameful, judgmental, hypercritical thoughts. We don't want to keep passing them down. We want to keep passing down thoughts of love about our bodies, thoughts of love about our weight, thoughts of love about our shape, about food, about workouts, everything. So realize that when she was saying that to you, she was really talking to herself, and she was hearing her mother's voice talk to her, or another woman's voice talking to her, and just projecting it onto you, which you didn't deserve. You never deserved that. It happened, so we get to spend time forgiving that circumstance. You might be ready to forgive the other person. You might not. That's okay. Either way, no one is forcing you to forgive anybody, but at least see it in a different way. See that what was actually happening versus what you thought was happening. What you thought was happening was you probably filled the thought loop with, mom's treating me like this because my body is disgusting, or because my body is shameful, because I should be ashamed of my body and my curves and how I look. That's what you probably filled it in with, some form of that. And that was a lie. So what you can fill it in with, you can go back to the thought loop and let's fill it in with something that is constructive and healthy and empowering, which is that mom talked about my body like that because she was just passing down patterns and she didn't know how to handle her emotions herself. When somebody does that and they project it onto you, it's because they don't know how to handle their emotions. They're so bottled up inside of them, and they don't have the proper tools to know how to release them. Like, nobody's taught the stuff that I'm teaching you guys. Like, very few women are taught the stuff that I'm teaching you guys, and like, my mission is to make sure all women understand the things that y'all are learning here. But because, like, especially previous generations don't know this stuff, and they don't know how to handle their emotions and their feelings, especially about their bodies, and they've got stuff passed down to them, then they project it onto you. And it just keeps going and keeps cycling until somebody says stop. It's stopping now because it's not good and we don't want to pass it on. And I'm breaking the pattern here now. That is important, powerful, potent stuff. And we want to do that. That is within your power to do. So stop it here and let's say, okay, I'm not going to pass this on because I know that was just her pain, her putting her pain onto me. And I'm not receiving the pain. I'm just saying, you know, you're obviously experiencing a lot of emotions and pain that you don't know how to handle. So, you know, I love you. However, I choose to love my body. I choose to love my curves. I choose to love how I look. And remember that you get to be the judge of how beautiful your body is. You get to be the judge of if you are attractive and beautiful and healthy and fit and good enough and lovable. So you probably have some form of feeling like you wouldn't be loved. You would lose love in some way, or love would be restricted from you if you looked this certain way. And this goes for all of the beliefs. If you look the certain way that you want to look, you probably believe in some form or fashion that love will be taken away from you. If you feel like love will be taken away, you will not go there. Does that make sense? We're going towards love, you know? If we feel like it's going to hurt somebody else, or if we feel like it's going to take love away from us, we're not going to do it. We're not going to let it happen, no matter how bad we want it, no matter how much we work out, no matter how healthy we eat. We will not let our bodies change if we think it's going to hurt somebody else, or if we think it's going to take love away from us. So, with that being said, that's a big thing, right? So we want to clear it, we want to release it, we want to forgive the other person, we want to forgive ourselves if we're ready to. There's a beautiful Hawaiian forgiveness prayer called Ho'oponopono, which is totally worth looking up if you've never practiced that, or if you have, look it up too. It's a really nice way to forgive and let somebody else have their stuff back. You can do cord cutting meditations where you you envision cutting the cord of going from your heart to their heart, so that they can, like, you know, the idea is that your heart is connected with someone else's heart, and they can pass energy to you, and they can place their opinions on you and all of that stuff. And when you cut the cord, you're saying, I'm going to be my own lit up, radiant, vibrant, powerful being who makes my own decision about everything. You can be yours. I'm no longer going to take on your beliefs and your thoughts and your emotions. Another thing I like to do when I'm doing forgiveness exercises is I have an essential oil blend. It's called forgiveness. So I will smell that, do a little meditation, envision the other person, send them love. Sometimes the forgiveness needs to be given to myself. So don't skip the step. If you feel like you're the one who needs to forgive yourself, then make sure that you go and do that. Give yourself the forgiveness you need and you deserve. Okay, so there's that. And then the next thing is know that we can choose new in any moment. We're different than the past. We can decide. So the past is the past. The past happened. Bless it. Cool. Whatever. But we're not living in the past. You are not the same person you were 5 seconds ago, especially after watching these videos. You have a totally different perspective, viewpoint, beliefs, energy. You're seeing things in new ways. You have a new everything. So the past will never be repeated because it's just impossible, because you are not the same person. You have changed over the time it has taken since those things happened to you. You're a different person. It'll never happen like it happened before. You get to decide. This is the exciting and powerful part. From this point forward, you get to decide to have whatever you want and let yourself be the judge of that, if that's possible for you. You really are the only one who can take things away from yourself or give them to you. We think that we give other people that power, and you can give it away, but again, that's you deciding to give your power away to other people. So it is within your power to say, to take away the feelings of unworthiness or not being good enough or having to do more to have what you want, or being wrong or shameful or greedy or bad to have the body you want. Like, you're the one who gets to give other people permission to take your power. So get that power back, woman. It's inside of you. It's always been there. It always will be. Sometimes it gets suppressed, so we just need to bring it back out. Just remember the power that you have. You are vibrant. You are brilliant, radiant. Like, that light is what we need to shine. That sunshine. So, okay. The other thing I put down here was that by celebrating your body, it gives other women permission to celebrate their body. And I know all of you want to see other women celebrating their bodies. Like, what a beautiful thing. And if you have moments where you have like comparison or judgment to other women, you might be like, well, sometimes I don't want to celebrate someone else. There is a deep part of you that really does want to. The comparison and the judgment is just learned. Again, it's like we've been taught and programmed and conditioned to think that we can't have the things that we want, or won't have what she has, or she does it better than us and it might get taken away from us. There's so many different variations of this, but when you find the ones you have, you can just have awareness towards it. And I want to highlight that again, like, this is all about just having a new awareness and just saying, okay, I can see this about myself. I see things differently, and because of that, the most important point is I decide to succeed no matter what. I decide to win even though I have all this stuff. I was talking about this on a Body Built by Love live coaching call that I did this morning, that it's up to us to decide if we can have what we want. Like, we're the ones who get to give it to ourselves or take it away. And the whole thing about thinking we should have eaten better or worked out more or done the things, you get to choose to succeed no matter what. All of us have feelings of not being good enough. All of us have feelings of fear. All of us have feelings of worthiness issues. Like, find the most successful person out there, the most successful woman with the best body ever, she's still gonna have some worthiness issues and some fears in her life. Like, it's part of a human experience. So don't feel like, oh, well, I feel unworthy, or I feel undeserving of love, or I feel like I can't you know, I don't feel good enough, like I'm not gonna have the body I want until I fix that. No, you get to have it when you decide. So you get to choose right now that you could have it, despite the unworthiness, despite the fear, despite the not feeling good enough. You get to say, even though all those things are going on in my mind, I'm still gonna win. I'm still gonna succeed. I'm still gonna move forward. Think about any time in your life when you've had that experience where you've had something that you were taking action on and you felt like you had to give up, but you were like, you know what? And you felt like all of these things were against you. Like, God, it's making it so hard. But you kept going and you were like, you know what? I decide that I'm gonna still do this. I decide that I'm still gonna cross that finish line or do that thing or have that thing. Think about that in other areas of your life. Do that with your body. Say to yourself, I might not eat exactly how I think I'm supposed to eat. I might not work out every single day. I might not think I'm worthy or deserving. I might have all of this childhood trauma. I might have tons of layers of inner work that I feel like I need to do. But guess what? I'm going to choose to succeed anyway. I'm going to choose to have the body I want anyway, despite all of that. And all of that can heal and mend in the process of moving forward, but it's not required for me to change or fix or whatever, any of these things for me to have what I want. And that's what I want to tell you. You don't have to change all those things to have what you want. You just need to decide. So that's why, again, I'm going through these things with you, because sometimes by going and finding the source of everything or doing the forgiveness exercise or whatever it might be, sometimes by doing that, we give ourselves that permission to just say, I'm deciding I get to have it. I'm just deciding to. And I've told you guys this a million times. Like, I've had phases of my life where I didn't eat healthy food at all. Like, not at all. Like, 3 meals a day, unhealthy. Didn't work out. Like, my body stayed healthy and fit because I chose to, because I decided. That's the power that each and every one of us have. You have that power to say, I didn't do it how I wanted to. I still choose to succeed. And part of it was like, it was partially experiment kind of thing. It was partially actually going into a weird place in my life. But by doing that, it helped me realize just how powerful our minds truly are. And I'm not saying don't eat healthy and don't work out. Like, do the things that make your body thrive. Like, be good to yourself. Like, know what feels amazing. When you eat certain foods, you just feel good. When you move your body certain ways, you just feel good. Know what those things are and do them and choose to succeed. Like, don't sabotage yourself and be like, I'm just gonna eat shitty food and not move my body and blah, 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 blah. It goes kind of against like what our systems are programmed to think we have to do. It might jolt you in the process. So just go with what feels good, but know that you get to decide that no matter what, whether you had a bagel and cream cheese for breakfast or a smoothie, you still get to succeed. You still get to have your healthy body. You still get to have the body you want. The only thing that keeps us from having the bodies we want is our subconscious beliefs that tell us we're not allowed to have it. It's not right. It's not good. It'd be unsafe. And a lot of times the reason we make those unhealthy decisions, like I'm gonna pick the bagel and cream cheese over the smoothie, a lot of times it's because there's a subconscious self-sabotage that's happening from these things that we're going over, because it's saying, I better choose that bagel and cream cheese because if I pick the smoothie, then my body will probably change. And if my body changes, it's not safe. Mom won't love me anymore, or people will feel uncomfortable around me or whatever. So bagel and cream cheese. And you don't even realize this is happening, but it's happening inside of you. Like, these decisions are getting made based off of that, which is why it's really good to figure out what negative limiting beliefs we hold below the surface and shift them. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go into a couple more of the different things, the different topics that you might resonate with. Before I do that, a couple more on the vain and slutty thing. A couple of empowering things. Remember, if you feel like it's vain to have the body you want or to look the way you want to look, remember that your body is sacred. Your body creates life. Your body is the ultimate inspiration for men. Our bodies deserve our love, and they do so much for us. And when I say that our bodies are sacred, they're literally sacred. They make life. Like, the reason the planet is full of people is because women's bodies, because we make life. that's a beautiful thing. That body deserves love. That body deserves to be treated like a sacred piece of technology. It's a good thing. This body deserves love. What I mean when I say that our bodies inspire men is like hundreds of books throughout so many years, all kinds of civilizations will talk about how woman inspired man. Women have this great power to inspire men, whether it's from their energy or their body or whatever. It is not wrong to have a really inspiring body and an empowering body. Like, we have seen men do amazing things when they have really powerful and alive, radiant women by their side. It serves the world, it serves men. So many creative, genius ideas have come to life through the masculine energy because the feminine energy was in her power. So don't be afraid of your power. Like, part of standing in your power is having the body you want. Part of standing in your power is like having the healthiest and best looking, feeling, acting body that you could possibly have, and mind, of course, too. And then if you have the belief about it being like slutty or bad to have your body look a certain way or be curvy or anything, this was just a note I wrote down. It comes from a woman who's uncomfortable with her own sexuality, who's afraid of her own femininity, and deeply wants connection with her body and herself. So if your mom is, or another woman is positioning your body as being wrong, or you should feel shame about having your body look the way it looks, just know that that woman is very uncomfortable with her own sexuality. She is very uncomfortable in her own body, which sucks. Like, we don't want anybody to feel like that. And she's probably feeling it far more extremely than you're feeling it, and you're probably feeling it a lot. So know that that's coming from a deep root of pain and uncomfortability, and the thing she wants the most is the connection and the love with her own body. And she is, of course, putting negativity out on your body for looking that way. She just wants to love it. She just wants to love herself. And again, when people say stuff to us, they're saying it to themselves. So it's really important that when she says this stuff to you, you realize she's just saying that to her. She's not actually saying it to you about yourself. And she's telling herself, like, what she would rather be doing, what she wishes she was doing, is giving herself deep love and appreciation and connecting with her body and falling in love with her body. So there's a lot of misassociations that happen when we think somebody is just telling us our body sucks. And really, there's a whole nother thing going on. So you don't have to feel like your body sucks, because it has nothing to do with your actual body. Your body is great. Your body has never been wrong. It's been on point and beautiful always. And you're the one who gets to choose to love and accept yourself fully, love and accept your body fully in this moment, in every moment. So, okay. It's wrong or morally wrong to look like that. So a lot of times that ties in with like religious beliefs. Having a fierce body makes people uncomfortable. We talked about that one. Showing off and celebrating a fierce body makes people feel uncomfortable. Talked about that. It's dangerous to look like that. This gets into the final category that we'll go into, is like, it's dangerous, or it will hurt people I love, or it will hurt me if I look like that. So dangerous to look like that. You get negative, painful, hurtful attention when you look like that. Do either of these resonate with you? Things you love can be taken away when you look like that, or when you have the body that you want, or when you have a certain shape. Bad things will happen to me if I look like that, or if I have the body I want. Do any of those resonate with you? Because if they do, we'll go into a little bit about that, of it being dangerous to look how you want. So again, if you feel like bad things are going to happen to you if you have the body you want, or things that you want or love can be taken away from you if you have your body look that way, or if you get negative, painful, or hurtful attention if your body looks like that, no matter how bad you want your body to be a certain weight or look fit, you're going to sabotage it. You're going to sabotage it with food, with workouts, with everything you can, so that your body doesn't look like that, because you don't want to put yourself in danger. You don't want to put yourself in that fearful, scary state where things you love could be taken away from you. So you'll do, trust me, your subconscious will do whatever it can to fight it. So it's all about understanding what was actually happening there. And a lot of times these beliefs this like category ties in with somebody who's been like sexually abused or raped or had sexual trauma in relation to their bodies. A lot of times that goes hand in hand. So if you've ever had that experience, know that that definitely does play a part in us keeping ourselves from the bodies that we want. Let's flip it around. Let's just do that same process that I taught you with any of these and all of them that resonate. It might take you time. Trust me, it is so worth it. I mean, if it takes you a couple hours, if it takes you a couple days to write these out, but you will finally allow yourself to have the body that you've been wanting, and it feels safe, and it feels good, and it feels right, and it feels healthy, wouldn't it be worth it? Yes. So it might take you an hour, it might take you longer. Do it with each and every one of these individually. It's the most worthwhile thing you'll do. Okay, so what's actually dangerous is not knowing how to own your power and your life force. So this is what happens a lot of times when we get into a circumstance where we feel like it's dangerous, or something we love will be taken away from us, or something bad will happen to us if our bodies look the way that we want them to look. We don't realize how strong and powerful our own life force is. We don't understand how to harness it. Unfortunately, this is another thing that is very rarely taught to kids, especially young women growing up, like how to harness their own life force, how to know how powerful they truly are. And a lot of times women will have something bad happen to them, and they'll complete the thought loop with, it's because my body looked like that. My body got me into this trouble. My body is the reason why this bad thing happened. And it's not. You filled in a false truth. You filled in a lie. And it had nothing to do with the body. It had everything to do with the life force, and not being taught how to harness your own life force. So no bad on you. And no, you did not deserve for any of that to happen to you. You never deserved any of that. But because it did happen, let's address it, and let's look at it and figure out what was actually going on. Because a lot of times when something that traumatic happens, we just lock it up, put a lie in there, close it, and move forward as fast as we can so we can get away from the pain. But the pain kind of keeps trailing behind us until we do this inner work. So we realize what was actually going on. Oh, I didn't know how to truly harness my life force. I didn't know how powerful I am to be able to say no, or actually do something, or change the complete energy and belief system around me so that that circumstance doesn't even show up in my life. Like, we are really, really powerful. Our beliefs are really powerful. And we need to start to shift them when we're experiencing things in our life that don't serve us, are not good for us, are hurtful for us, or are bad. So you have the power to do that. So the miscorrelation in that one is you thought it was your body that created those situations for you, or put you in a bad situation or dangerous situation. It was really not knowing how to harness your own personal power that got you in the dangerous situation, not knowing how to believe that you deserve good situations and to be treated with honor and respect and love. Like, that's the belief. If you have any of these danger beliefs, know that it's not like it's about bringing in the new empowering belief that your body deserves love, it deserves respect, it deserves honor, and that starts by you giving love, respect, and honor to your own body. Your body deserves that. Your body deserves your love, and you set the example with you. Let the other people around you shift and change because of that belief, and they will. They absolutely will. We just need to potty train that new belief in, like we're potty training a puppy, like a baby learning to walk. And know this is one of the more powerful and empowering beliefs that you can believe about this. Just repeating a lot of words, whatever. We're getting the point across. Your fierce body only makes you stronger. You having the body you want only makes you stronger. Because there's probably a part of you that thinks that by having the body you want, it's going to make you weak, vulnerable, susceptible to bad things. Having a fierce body only makes you stronger. I mean, even just think of it in the actual sense of it having muscle. Like, it's actually physically stronger, but emotionally it's stronger too. So know that, believe that, and lock that in. All right, well, that is a lot of different beliefs about our bodies. It needed to be talked about because we need to know where we put the lie in the thought loop. Go back, open it up, take the lie out, put an empowering belief back in, close it up, do some forgiveness, and then practice the new empowering belief so that that becomes a reality. Really important. I wrote this down too. We need more women holding the space of healthy bodies that feel sexy. We need more of that. Like, if you're holding any or multiple of these different beliefs, we need you to know that we need you to step into that power. We need you to have that body. It is the most loving thing you can do to have that body. It is the most high service thing for everybody around you and for yourself, for you to have that body. You're meant to have that body. You're supposed to have that body. It's the most empowering thing you can do. It's the strongest thing you can do for yourself. And it only brings good into the world when you do that. So big things. Week 2 is a powerful one. You got 2 more weeks to go. You're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. Know that you are loved. Know that you are supported. I am here standing for you. Know that I believe that your body, as it looks in this moment, is worthy of love, is deserving of love, is worthy of your own acceptance and love. And you get to choose that. You know, I could tell you how much I love and accept your body till I'm blue in the face, but you have to believe it for yourself, and you have to choose it and decide it for yourself. So do that. A beautiful belief is, I choose to love and accept myself fully in this moment, as I am right now, as I look right now, and move forward from there. Because from that place of love, your body thrives and it gives you all the things you want. Well, thank you so much for being here, for watching this video. It's long, but it's worth it. It really means a lot that you're taking the time to do this inner work and prioritize yourself. You're really healing yourself and the planet as you do this. So, good job, girl. Yay. So amazing. Let's take a deep breath together. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Big things. All right, jump into that journaling. Check in with us once you do it, and know that I love you and I support you, and you got this. You got a woman standing behind you, cheering you on. Love you. Mwah.